Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mia here if you are new, and if you are not new, welcome back, girl.
Feet on the ground but my head's in the blue. Sunlight's a whisper, it's breaking right through. I'm a spark,
Today's video is going to be a character breakdown and analysis of Chelsea Daniels from That's So Raven. This show is just a classic. I'm sure everybody that was a Disney Channel kid loved That's So Raven, or at least watched it a few times. And I want to talk about her specifically and just a little bit about her character, her personality, and how she was perceived, and her relationship with Raven as being best friends. So as you guys know, this series is a part of my Girlhood Revisited series, where we break down 90s and 2000s nostalgia shows as now adults and watching them and viewing them from a psychological lens. And so I have a few videos already up on my channel if you guys want to check those out. Just to continue to get the formalities out of the way, I will be looking to the side because my notes are right in front of me on my laptop, just so we can stay on track. So the way the video is going to go, first we're just going to talk about Chelsea and her personality a little bit, and then we're just going to get into a breakdown of a couple of the episodes that I want to talk about today that kind of furthers my perspective on Chelsea. So Chelsea is Raven's best friend, one of Raven's best friends. They are a trio. It's Raven, Eddie, and Chelsea. And Chelsea, the way her character is perceived and presented to us as the viewer, is she's very silly, she's ditzy, kinda. Okay, not kinda, y'all know. She comes off as ditzy. She's loyal to Raven and Eddie. She's very caring, very nurturing person. She loves the environment. She's a vegetarian. She loves nature and plants, and that was a big part of her character. And she can also be a very good voice of reason for Raven. She comes from, I've noticed, a very grounded perspective a lot of the times throughout the show, despite her ditziness and how silly she can be and the comic relief that she brings to the show. I found that rewatching the show, like I said before, Chelsea is very, in my opinion, grounded in her advice and what she tells Raven when Raven is in one of her chaotic situations, which we know she ends up in a lot. And as I'm rewatching a few of the episodes, I noticed that Chelsea is also, she seems very emotionally mature, in the way she communicates her feelings, and the way she articulates herself when there is conflict between her and Raven. Of course, she has her moments where she just immediately acts on being upset about something that happens between her and Raven, but it's the resolve that I noticed that really made me think wow, her character is actually very emotionally mature when it comes to her relationship with Raven. And I felt like there were times where if Chelsea didn't respond to the things that Raven did, if she didn't respond to it the way that she did, meaning maturely, there were chances where I would say they could have fell out and just completely fallen out as friends. Or I guess from a show perspective, we could have had a part 2 where they resolved the issue then versus all in one episode. So let's really break that down. So let's get into some of the episodes. The first episode I want to talk about is the Art Breaker episode. And I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but I believe it's in season 3. I just don't know which episode it is. So in this episode, Chelsea, Eddie, and Raven are all in the same art class, and they all show off their artwork to the teacher, like their art projects. And the teacher is pleasantly surprised with Chelsea's artwork, and her project was basically like a bunch of trash pieced together, and she said it was to show just how badly we treat the environment and our planet, things like that. The art teacher was very impressed, said that she wanted Chelsea to go ahead and be a part of the art show that was coming up. If y'all hear like any fan background, I apologize in advance. My fan is next to me too. It's a little hot, okay? It's a little hot in my room. But back to the episode. So she tells Chelsea she wants her to go ahead and enter into the art contest. She loved her art project, and Chelsea was very thrilled. So she, of course, agrees. She does that. And she decides that she wants to do her art project for the contest on Raven. She wants Raven to be her inspiration, her muse. And Raven, of course, is very thrilled at first, like super flattered, like, yes, I can't wait to see what you come up with. Long story short, Chelsea comes up with a sculpture of Raven, which was very impressive, by the way. Like, the detail was crazy. And with a beak, like basically like a bird, like a bird beak. And she first shows Raven the idea, like, because she wants to see what she thinks. She's really excited about it, and Raven's initial reaction was not the best. She basically like had a squeaky voice saying that she liked it, and Chelsea was like, you lie when your voice is squeaky, like you don't like it. And it turns into a thing where Raven is just like, I mean, you made me a bird, like I have a whole beak. And Chelsea was just like, I thought you would like it, like this is you're my inspiration, like. And of course Raven keeps going on the point that, like, come on, like it's a bird, like you created me as a bird. So they end up kind of falling out in that moment about that. Chelsea was like, wow, like I thought you would actually like what I created, and her feelings are hurt, and she walks off. Now in this moment, I'm not gonna lie, it bothered me on Raven's reaction, because I'm just like, like the way the writers did that, I was just like, wow. Because I'm just like, Raven couldn't emotionally, like, I don't know, I felt like maturity wasn't kicking in that moment. Like, you couldn't realize that your friend is just doing an artistic piece. Like, why take it that personal, especially if you know your friend. Like, you know she's not trying to take a dig at you. She's just creating artwork, and then she's super excited about it. And Raven's reaction was so like, I mean, really, like, come on, like it's a bird. Like, I don't know, to me I felt like her reaction was unwarranted, but that's neither here nor there. That's how they wrote the episode. So that was the point of conflict that started everything else moving forward in the episode. So after that little fallout that they had, Raven has a vision that she knocks over the sculpture and it breaks. Literally right after she had the vision, she knocks it over and it breaks. And so she tells Eddie, like, before, I think actually she had the vision, and then right after she told Eddie, no, I take that back, she didn't tell him. She had the vision, and then she knocks it over and breaks it. And then he's like, what happened? Like, you had a vision, da da da. Basically asking her like what the vision was about, and she was like, it was about that, like me breaking the sculpture. And she was like, now Chelsea's gonna think I did it on purpose when it was an accident. And this was weird to me too, because Eddie's response was like, you're not gonna be able to fix it, because immediately Raven's reaction and solution to breaking it was that she can piece it back together. Like, come on. And Eddie's response was like, no, you won't be able to do that. That's just not gonna happen. So Chelsea walks back into the room and they cover it up so she can't see it, and Raven's hiding underneath the little like tarp piece or whatever it was with the sculpture, and Eddie is covering for her and basically trying to distract Chelsea. And I'm like, why didn't Eddie just tell her, you need to just be honest with Chelsea and tell her she's your best friend, like you can let her know? No, he goes along with helping Raven hide this. And I mean, I get it, the episode probably would have been really short if he did say that and she actually did it, but I'm like, there's creative ways that this could have been written around, like just like handling conflict between friendships maturely or something. I don't know, whatever. That's 30 something year old me speaking, not me as a young person watching this show. But anyways, so that was his advice. So he's helping distract Chelsea. Chelsea ends up leaving, and then Raven, her solution moving forward throughout the episode was to actually dress up as the sculpture because it was of her, and stand in place for the sculpture at the contest. Yeah, so that's what she does. It's pretty believable at first. Nobody notices that it's actually Raven until she starts like sneezing, and that's when the teachers realize, the judges, and then of course Chelsea.
I want to Chelsea, let your art speak for itself. Right? What happened to my statue?
So after it's exposed that the sculpture is actually Raven, she then has to tell Chelsea what happened, that she broke the initial sculpture by accident. And yeah, so Raven ends up apologizing for breaking the sculpture, and that she didn't tell Chelsea about what happened initially. And then she also ended up apologizing to Chelsea for overreacting initially about the sculpture being made of her. And Chelsea, like, this is a part where I was thinking like, wow, Chelsea is actually being very emotionally mature and just being mature in general with her response. So of course Chelsea was initially upset, but after she listened to Raven, she was like, no, like I understand. She was like, I apologize for, you know, creating the sculpture of you like that. And that's when Raven was like, no, I apologize for my reaction. Like I should have known, you know, you are my friend, you're my best friend, you wouldn't do anything to just pick at me. And so then Chelsea was just like, you know, I appreciate you basically for going this length to like go out of your way and show up for me in the art contest, is how I took it after you broke the sculpture. Like Chelsea basically saw her efforts as being sweet for going that far to make up for what she did. And I was just like, yes, that's one way to look at it. And that's when I started to realize like Chelsea was actually being very mature in that moment, because this could have easily been like a huge continuation of a fallout, like with people like in real life outside of the show. That could have ended a whole friendship. And then I thought like too, like if let's say Chelsea heard her out, she apologized, she heard Raven's apology, but then was like, you know, I accept it, but I don't agree with how you handled it, and I'm not sure if I want to continue in this friendship because initially you just covered everything up. Like, I mean, that's harsh, but she could have done that too. And I took it as like Chelsea's response to that situation was honestly the deciding factor at the end of the episode if they were going to be cool again, like if they were going to resolve this, because she had a very mature response and then accepted Raven's apology. Raven heard her out and they were now back cool and on the same page. So that was my first inkling, like, okay, Chelsea's character is actually very grounded and she's very mature and about a lot of things, like when it comes to giving out her advice and her perspective. Yes, she's very silly and goofy, which can also, and ditzy to be honest, which can be interpreted as immaturity, of course, but then there's another side to her that's actually very grounded in her emotions and her perspectives about things, especially when it comes to the chaos that Raven gets in. She usually has a very sound response. Yes, sometimes she involves herself in the antics and helps Raven make a mess of things, but she does also be like, well, say things like, well, maybe you should tell the truth, or maybe you should just talk to her, or maybe, you know, she always gives more of a logical response and a logical route to things. And of course, Raven usually doesn't take that till the end after she makes it worse. But like I was saying, that part in the episode at the end is when I really started to see Chelsea's character a little bit differently, and now rewatching the show as an adult, I have a different view on her. Yes, I wanted to just really talk about that, and y'all can let me know in the comments like what y'all think, if y'all agree with me on Chelsea's character and how we viewed her. And again, I may do a separate video just on Raven, but this is something I noticed about Chelsea's character and I really wanted to share that with you guys. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's have a few conversations in the comments and y'all let me know what y'all think about my perspective on Chelsea. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.